Hello everyone and welcome back to Streets of Rage for Round 4, otherwise known as the one with the holes in it. The yellow signals have now been replaced with the purple signals, the only difference now being that they take more hits. And Garcia is as aggressive as ever, regardless of any potential color changes. Though in general, when an enemy changes color, it signifies that they get more hits. And sometimes new gimmicks, though that's rarer. There is also an upgraded version of Nora, as you're seeing here, who also takes more hits. She doesn't seem to behave any differently from her counterparts, though. There is a special version of Nora in the next level, and I think only in the next level, that behaves differently. But we'll get there when we get there. If you notice in this level in particular that I scroll the screen rather slowly, that's intentional so I have to deal with the least amount of enemies at any given time. Thankfully, the game doesn't yell at you constantly like Final Fight would when you try to pull that. Now that we're out of the opening section of the level, it's time for the pits, right up here. These pits mean instant death for your enemies if they get thrown into them, but they also mean instant death for you. So while it is very tempting to bait enemies into getting thrown in there, we're just going to avoid staying too close to them so we don't suffer the same fate ourselves. Except instead of throwing, it would be through hitting. But the purple signals can throw us. So we should be wary of that. There have been at least a couple of times where they've thrown me right into one of the pits, because I was not accounting for them actually using their throw. They don't use it unless you get unreasonably close. There are not a lot of long weapons in this level, but Garcia will be holding one right up here. So we're going to use that to our advantage if we can. That's the first time I think I've ever gotten hit with a long weapon in a very long time. It's kind of funny the way they swing it and then just walk away instead of using it repeatedly. But now it's ours, so we're going to make the best of it. We did receive it just before a jack appears, so I don't believe that's a coincidence, as this is the easiest way to take those enemies out. And of course, these pits also serve the purpose of limiting our mobility. Can't really move up and down as much when these pits are all around us. That was a 2-for-1 right there, knocking both of those guys into the pit. So that should be enough for the whole level, really. Hey look, it's another Hakuyo. He's a different color, which means he's slightly stronger, but, you know, not strong enough for a couple hits from our bat. The bat hurts a lot. I do love the way the background steadily changes as the levels move on. Seems like a fairly standard thing, but helps make the level seem a lot less constrained. Of course, they don't move as fast as Final Fight's levels, but that game is also a lot shorter, so they had a lot less to stretch out. Anyway, as I was saying, we can't move vertically as much when these pits are around us, but that's really not a big deal as you're seeing as long as we're playing as Adam. Imagine it would be a much bigger blow if you were playing as Blaze, but Adam's whole thing is that he reaches really far and hits really hard. So this level is just a breeze for him. Especially with the baseball bat. I mean, I prefer a pipe myself, but a baseball bat will do just fine. With this next enemy, you'll see that Garcias can hold knives in two ways. The way this guy is holding it looks really stupid, but that's because instead of throwing the knife, he jousts at us. Which is actually way more dangerous, because we can't just move up or down to avoid that one, because he'll come at us diagonally. Now if we walked all the way forward to the very edge of the screen right here, we would be swamped with enemies. So I'm trying to stay back as far as possible, because this is the most difficult part of the stage except for the boss battle. In fact, I think it's just Garcias and purple signals until the end, with one green signal thrown in there. Just to mix it up a bit. Garcias, as I've said several times though, are the real threat. Garcia is the most difficult enemy for Adam, because he moves around in such an odd way. And we've yet to see the most difficult boss fight for Adam, but that will come next time. And I believe it's infamously difficult for people who play as Adam solo. And I still can't say it's easy for me. Okay, now it's boss time against Big Ben, who is a giant man that breathes fire. And as soon as the battle starts, we want to jump over to the right. If we can't get behind him, we're just screwed. That's it, alright? If you can't get behind Big Ben at the start of the fight, it's over, you're done. so make sure you're in a good position to do that. It really helps if you're playing as Axel or Blaze because they move faster, but Adam's giant jump kick will work just fine as long as you're in the right position.